Hi, today our group will presenting variables impacting dividend payout. The group members are Iffah Nazurah, Iffah Nafilah, Monica, Nur Fajrinabillah, and Nursyahirah Halwa.
I am Iffah Nafilah and I'm going to present the introduction of this topic. This research is to investigate the relationship of dividend payout between Islamic and non-Islamic banks in Malaysia. The Islamic banking system employs the concept of equity participation or profit and loss sharing in its products. The bank will provide dividends, which known as hibah, based on the agreed upon percentage. However, non-Islamic banking is a profit-driven business with majority of transactions which involving interest, usury, which also known as riba. Next is theory. The research framework for this research is the agency theory and signaling theory, which using a data from 2016 to 2020. The objective of this research is to identify the relationship between dividend policy and profitability, like dividend, financial leverage, and revenue growth of the bank. The dividend is as constant as their variable may cause a big impact on dividend policy for this research. However, this research only uses return on asset, like dividend, leverage, and growth to determinants of dividend policy in the Islamic and non-Islamic banks.
My name is Monica and I will be presenting the theoretical framework. For agency theory, the relationship between the first two parties, the owner, principal, and the second management agent is known as an agency. However, because they have two separate interests in the company, they each attempt to achieve the desired prosperity, resulting in the asymmetry of information between management and shareholder. The agency disputes between the management and the investor of firm are the main barriers to the firm performance. The dividend policy of the corporation can thus be used by shareholders as a tool to reduce agency expenses. New investors are typically interested in a company if management can represent that the capital utilized to generate profits. For signaling theory, dividend payout conveys information and can be viewed to reduce information asymmetry between owners and managers. Signaling also implies that the dividend payout is more asymmetric information. The higher the amount of dividend paid out than in the under the scenario of full information. Thus, dividends are used by management to prevent information asymmetric by signaling the company performance to shareholders. The signal is an action done by the firm to give investor information about its prospect and empirical evidence that support the predictive value of dividend signaling model.
Hi, my name is Nursyahirah. I will present about literature review and hypothesis. Literature review. Al-Qaid 2017 conducted a study to analyze the determinant impacting financial institution dividends in Saudi Arabia from 2011 to 2014. According to the study findings, bank earnings, both Islamic and non-Islamic, have no substantial impact. Profit from Islamic banks are not used to increase dividends, but non-Islamic banks pay dividends regardless of profitability. J. Yahya and Alia Sagan 2020 conducted a panel data regression data analysis to examine the determinant affecting dividend distribution to shareholders of blue chip companies listed on the Bursa Malaysia from 1990 to 2019. The findings claim that the lagged dividends payment were found to have positive relationship with dividend payment. Jun Lin et al. 2018 evaluated the variable of dividend policy in the Malaysian property market from 2012 to 2016. The study discovered a substantial inverse relationship between leverage and dividend payout. Subramaniam et al. 2014 studied the association between Malaysia's top 300 listed business growth possibilities and dividend payout. The data revealed that decreasing dividend payout are associated with increased growth potential. Ings et al. Revenue growth is negatively associated with dividend payout. Hypothesis. Hypothesis 1. There is a positive relationship between profitability and dividend. Hypothesis 2. There is a positive relationship between lagged dividend and dividend. Hypothesis 3. There is no relationship between leverage and dividend. And hypothesis 4. There is no relationship between revenue growth and dividend. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Nur Fajrinabillah binti Abbas. I will present about the research design and data. First, data collection. This research is using secondary data to study the elements that affect dividend policy in Malaysian Islamic and non-Islamic banks. Secondary data used in this research include journal, article, and internet sites. The data of this research was also graded from the bank's annual financial report from 2016 to 2020, which was posted on their official website. The final sample of this research comprises a sample of 5 Islamic and 5 non-Islamic banks in Malaysia. Next is measurement. Dependent variable. The dividend payout ratio will be a dependent variable in this research. The dividend payout ratio illustrates how many companies pay out a share of their profit as a dividend. Dividend payout ratio also represents the amount of dividend payout as a percentage of net profit. Last but not least, dividend payout ratio are greater in banks with stronger management.
Next, independent variables. First, return on assets. To evaluate a company's profitability and capacity to effectively utilize its assets over time in order to gain profit. ROA formula is calculated by the net income earned by total assets over a given time period. Second, lagged dividend. According to Chihaya and Yalsanakan 2020, a company's current dividend payout ratio is influenced by the previous year's dividend. Lagged dividend is equals to dividend paid previous year. Third, debt ratio. It demonstrates how much debt is needed to support a company's assets and how those assets might be used to repay debt. The debt ratio is calculated by dividing a firm's total debt by total assets. Last, revenue growth. Growth is an indication to shareholders that a company has a lot more potential on dividend policy, which can be explained using signaling theory. The formula is calculated by current year's revenue, deduct previous year's revenue, and then divide that number by previous year's revenue. The last part is methodology. First, it will begin with the diagnostic test. By Pearson correlation is considered to be a reliable method for determining the relationship between dependent and independent variables. Next, autocorrelation using Wooldridge test and heteroscedasticity test by using Bruch-Pagan, followed by variation inflation factor test to check the existence of multicollinearity problem between independent variables. The Hausman test can be applied between a fixed effect model or a random effect model. Suppose the p-value result for the Hausman test is less than 0.05, meaning the fixed effect model is most appropriate. Last, the Jacob-Barra test is a standard test that has been used to perform the normality test. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.